Agile is now making its way into a variety of other industries as its core principles are easily adapted and scaled for many different business cases.
Dave Thomas, one of the original authors of the manifesto, wrote that the word Agile has become subverted to the point where it effectively became meaningless.
Ultimately, adopting a client-centric Agile enterprise framework allows development team to combine a client's existing project framework while tactfully managing changing requirements and allocating resources.
Welcome to the Inside Forbes Councils podcast. Each episode shares transformative insights and advice from members of Forbes Councils, a group of invitation-only communities for successful executives and entrepreneurs. Today's topic is Agile Project Management. We'll hear from Forbes Councils members Kison Patel, the founder and CEO of Dealroom, and Eryk Warren, CTO of Unito, and Christopher Yang, Vice President of Engineering at Corporate Travel Management. They'll discuss what Agile means, how the methodology is spreading beyond software development, and we'll ask the question, are we losing sight of what it truly means to be Agile? We have to ask the question, though, does modifying and adapting Agile methodology to other industries and other types of work deviate from what Agile was all about?
Over the last decade, it's become impossible to talk about project management without the word Agile being thrown around. Even Dave Thomas, one of the original authors of the manifesto, wrote that the word Agile has become subverted to the point where it effectively became meaningless.
That's Eryk Warren, CTO and co-founder of Unito.
Unito is a SaaS middleware that connects the tools we work in every day, like Jira, Asana, GitHub, or Zendesk. I'm in charge of everything technology at Unito, and that involves choosing and tuning our processes and methodologies.
So the word Agile has been subverted, as you say. What do you mean by this? How do we get back to true agility in project management?
So to really go back to the basis and embrace agility, our development team at Unito shifted away from the traditional Scrum and Kanban models. These methodologies were meant to help development teams to be agile, but they've been applied in such a rigid way that the end result is anything but. Instead, we followed Thomas' advice and have shifted away from the concept of Agile and towards the manifesto's 4 core values. Let's take the first manifesto value. It's a very powerful one. It says individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Yet when people think Agile today, they think of Scrum or Jira. Effectively, they think processes and tools. Totally the opposite of the first value, right? So when looking at Scrum, it's obvious that the first value of the manifesto inspired the morning Scrum meeting. I am sure many of you have been in Scrum meetings, so you know that running them efficiently is hard. Not everyone has the ability to communicating concisely, and it's almost impossible to refrain people from asking random questions or wanting to know more. Those questions are disruptive in this context, but curiosity is one of the reasons we hired those people in the first place. And so refraining them is basically training them to ignore that instinct, and we don't want that. On the other hand, communicating what everyone is working on and what they are blocked on is essential. So what do? It certainly follows the individual interaction part of the manifesto value to share those information. So that's why at Unito we opted for asynchronous daily scrums. So every morning, at the time that suits them, people post their scrum on a Slack channel. We even extended the practice to include everyone in the company, so not just the development team. And that allows us to identify opportunities for collaboration between the different teams. The first manifesto value, individuals and interactions over processes and tools, also inspired us to go further and promote these interactions between departments. So for almost all projects, we form a multidisciplinary squad uniting developers with salespeople, writers, CSMs, and designers. The squad lasts for the duration of the project, and once it's delivered, we shuffle the squads for the next projects. It stimulates cross-pollination of ideas and gives different perspectives on the problem at hand. Another value of the manifesto is responding to change over following a plan. Some people adopt Scrum so rigidly, they won't even consider bending their processes, often to the detriment of their team and of their projects. At Unito, we're constantly iterating on our processes. The method we use today might not be appropriate once we double the team or for a project that requires very specific needs. Essentially, we've built agility into the process itself. These are only a few examples of how going back to the original values of the Agile Manifesto can help you build a strong, flexible development team that works with agility. If you're looking to return to these values, Unito itself is built with the principle of individuals over tools in mind. We allow people to stay in the tool they love while collaborating with others who prefer a different tool. No more jumping between tools, no more copy and paste. You can find more at unito.io.
At its core, Agile is a problem-solving mindset, a way of conceptualizing and responding to constantly changing environments, which values spontaneity, creativity, and swift reaction to novel situations over established procedural, itemization, and static workflow. Agile is adaptive instead of predictive, iterative instead of sequential, and flexible instead of rigid.
That's Kison Patel.
I'm the founder and CEO of DealRoom, a project management software and virtual data room for complex financial transactions. I leveraged my decade of experience as an M&A advisor to develop DealRoom as a way to address industry-wide challenges and inefficiencies.
Agile has been a software development strategy for years. So what's changing?
Agile is now making its way into a variety of other industries as its core principles are easily adapted and scaled for many different business cases. Industries that are successfully implementing Agile face very similar conditions as software development. Highly unpredictable, information-dense, and people-driven projects benefit the most from Agile's innovative techniques. As the modern marketplace moves away from manufacturing-heavy industries, these projects with such conditions are becoming increasingly likely.
Can you give an example of how Agile works? Outside of development, in other industries.
The project management technique has also slowly begun to make its way into my industry, mergers and acquisitions. The 5 core principles of this growing trend in project management as applied in M&A are 1. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. M&A projects benefit significantly when people work together consistently to achieve a common goal. It's important to have direct interactions with team members to keep a high level of communication so everyone is on the same page and problems get resolved faster. 2. Meaningful progress over comprehensive documentation. Within an M&A project, large volumes of data and materials are created, exchanged, reviewed, and analyzed. The key to a successful M&A process lies in the ability to distinguish between irrelevant noise and the type of critical data that will ensure a deal proceeds on validated assumptions and accurate information. 3. Real-time collaboration over sequential work. Focusing on direct collaboration is an essential component of a highly effective Agile M&A team. Often people work in silos, working down lists of tasks. With collaboration, perspectives are combined, allowing a broader view and ability to connect the dots to find unobvious risks and opportunities. 4. Responding to change over following a plan. A successful Agile M&A team must be able to adapt in changing needs swiftly and fluidly. When teams follow strict plans, adaptability is limited, therefore successful outcomes are hindered. 5. Operational transparency over implicit assumptions. Within an M&A project, Many critical decisions will be made based on complex considerations. In order to maximize the value of the deal, the M&A team must have a clear understanding of the progress, challenges, risks, and obstacles to be addressed. These principles are intended to empower professionals to change the way they collaborate and achieve common goals.
How can people learn more about you and your business?
To learn more about Agile, specifically how it's being implemented in corporate mergers and acquisitions, please check out my book, Agile M&A, or follow DealRoom's blog at dealroom.net/blog.
Agile is not a one-size-fits-all solution for all projects. In many cases, adopting a hybrid model can help withstand real-world challenges. A client-centric Agile enterprise framework can enable organizations to apply different methods that are adaptable to their distinctive needs.
That's Christopher Yang.
I'm the Vice President of Engineering at Corporate Travel Management, a global leader in travel management solutions. I'm fortunate to be at the helm of a large group of highly skilled technical members and to be deeply involved with technology both internally and externally to develop, maintain, and enhance our travel products.
So if not Agile for other project management, then what?
Today, I will talk about an alternative approach to software project management and a way to implement professional service projects within a client-centric enterprise framework. Within the enterprise framework are three main principal layers: project portfolio management, project delivery, and iteration management. Let us visit them one by one. First, project portfolio management. The primary objective of project portfolio management is to align business goals with execution. Related projects from the same client should be grouped into one portfolio to establish a value stream with a single backlog and intake process. This allows all projects and maintenance work to be force ranked, creating clear priorities for the team. Second, project delivery. This middle level connects all pieces of a project from requirement analysis to development to deployment. Collaboration with stakeholders is a key part of this stage and therefore requires a work model that is flexible enough for all parties. For clients used to working within the safe confines of a plan-driven waterfall methodology, some longer-range planning such as fixed scope release planning may be necessary to offer them the appropriate level of confidence. Third, iteration management. This bottom layer, iteration management, is the part of the enterprise framework that focuses on planning, execution, and leadership during time-box iterations. The team must effectively engage clients, solicit constructive feedback, and concentrate on the work that is most likely to generate the most value. After a development team has committed to using a client-centric Agile enterprise framework, some of the following best practices should be implemented to achieve the maximum return. First, align resources within each portfolio. During the project portfolio management phase, align your resources within each portfolio. Assigning dedicated teams to work on a portfolio consisting of projects with similar technical domains minimizes switching costs. Any developer can then take on a task with a minimal learning curve. Doing this not only allows senior management to effectively balance efficiency with resource utilization, but creates resource and cost transparency all the way to the client level. Second, use objectives and key results to measure team performance. Using objectives and key results can help leadership set goals for each portfolio team. OKRs not only help establish priorities, but they can also track progress. Although goals are generally set by management, implementation details are left to the team, which determines the most sensible approach to take. Third, include account managers on Agile teams. Including account managers on Agile teams can be extremely beneficial. Becoming part of the Agile team allows account managers to act as clients and provide real-time feedback during development. One of the greatest benefits of integrating account managers in this way is their ability to bridge the gap between clients and developers. By training account managers to act as product owners for basic implementation and maintenance projects, the account managers are able to effectively engage with clients, provide feedback, and prioritize the work with the most value. Incorporating an account manager can help enhance the structure and boundaries between clients and the development team, which yields in an increase in positive results. Fourth, be flexible about the work models. Training and educating clients on Agile methodologies can be quite challenging, especially when working with time constraints. Agile teams must remain flexible concerning the structure they use to deliver the project while keeping the core product development in Agile. While working at my previous company, One Stop Internet, we implemented a hybrid model in client projects in a style that we called Agile. This model only used Agile methodologies for new product development, allowing the rest of the project to proceed in accordance with a more linear waterfall approach. If a client requested a feature that is outside of our standard implementation, we had to feed the requirements into our roadmap. The project managers would then use fixed scope release planning to align the project schedule with feature development. New features wouldn't be available for integration until they were fully developed as part of our toolkit. With a hybrid approach, our product development team could run effective sprints to research, design, build, and test new functionalities, while our implementation team made our clients more confident regarding milestones and timelines. Remaining rigid would have produced needless friction.
So to sum this up,
Ultimately, adopting a client-centric Agile enterprise framework allows development team to combine a client's existing project framework while tactfully managing changing requirements and allocating resources. This mode of operation can lead to creating strong solutions that are beneficial to the organization and the client. If you would like to learn more about the topic, feel free to contact me directly. Check out my personal blog, christopheryang.co, or follow me on LinkedIn.
Agile methodologies are no longer just relevant for software development. Its principles can be applied to project management in a variety of industries, even finance, as demonstrated by Kison Patel. But as project management adopts Agile methodologies in more client-facing industries, Christopher Yang says companies would be wise to adapt a client-centric Agile framework. Eryk Warren points out that in applying the term Agile to everything and anything as a trend, we might be losing sight of the true goal of agility. Well, that's all we have time for today. If you're not a member of one of the Forbes Councils and are interested in joining, go to forbescouncils.com to see if you qualify. Thank you for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.